Thursday here on High Impact TV, and it is time for Tea or Coffee. My name is Mudupe Jacobs, and I have with me in the studio Wuraola Kupola.
Thank you for the introduction.
Yes,
good morning.
Good morning, there.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yes. So today's topic is one that I'm interested in.
I know.
You
see, when that topic came up, I was like, Mudupe's interest.
I know, right? I'm quite passionate about this particular one because it goes a long way. And in one way or the other, it affects the society.
Yes.
Now, what topic are we talking about? That is building
a healthy
relationships. It is important that healthy relationships are being built. And when you talk about relationships, we're not just limiting it to, you don't start building relationship when it comes to marriage. Even as friends, you have to build a healthy relationship
yes.
before you go into the fact that, relationship between a male and a female. When you talk about dating, I think the process is from dating to courtship to marriage.
But I would like to actually add that the process might be or should be from friendship.
From friendship. I already touched friendship. I'm just saying when it comes to the whole, marriage stage, most people start from dating.
Okay.
Then via dating, you can build your friendship and all. And luckily, some people start, from being friends, being best of friends, and then
into
they go
relationship.
they start dating, and then courting, and then they get married. So, and there's so many things should I say misconceptions when it comes to relationships.
Yes, a lot of misconceptions, like people saying you shouldn't intimacy, talking about romance and all of that before marriage, and some people still feel that no. Why would I actually wait to marry? A lot of people actually have misconceptions about, people think love is enough. Okay, I'm in love. Everyone can fall in love. I mean, every human is allowed to have feelings and fall in love. But then a lot of people think it's just enough to be in love for you to have a healthy relationship. And that is, love is part of it, yes, but not just love is enough to keep a healthy relationship. You have trust, you have understanding, you have other feelings, patience, endurance. Now, this is someone that you did not grow up with. This is someone that you are not related by blood. So you people, two of you have different personalities. And now, it's not just love that will keep the both of
together.
You need to understand each other's behaviors. You need to understand do's and don'ts of each other and know how to live with each other. And now, how can you start this? It's not from friendship. It's not from just seeing each other in a day and getting married the following day. You need to start from, for me, in my own opinion, I actually like it when you start as friends. Knowing each other and getting to know what I like, what I don't like. If you feel that my character is good enough or would be pleasing enough to you for us to have a relationship, then we can now go ahead. Not that, okay, because you're physically attracted or I am physically attracted to you, and then the next thing I just feel you're perfect. Just judging on what you look like. And, a lot of people do say that you can be beautiful physically. Now, the inner beauty is key, and which is your character, you understand? So now, you need to watch out for, will her character fit in with mine? Are there times where I am down, she would be able to hold me up and, see me as the strong person? Will she use her weaknesses against me?
Like someone that had
no,
10 years experience.
I know, right?
In a relationship, and I'm wondering, I'm like, okay. So when it comes to relationship, as I said, I'm really particular about it because it really, affects how the society, the makeup of the society.
Yes.
When you build healthy relationships, there's less hate and there's more love. And you're able to, like you were saying, it starts from friendship to dating to courtship, and then you get married, then you give birth to children that will be role models too. That will look at, how you've been able to cohabitate as a husband and as a wife, as a father, as a mother, and then they take on that love that they are able to get from you as their parents, and they share it to the outside world. And sometimes when you get it wrong from dating, marriage, and the likes, in a way or the other affects the child that you bring into the home. So that's why, building healthy relationships, relationships
yes.
now. Healthy relationships
Relationship.
actually goes a long way, and we have to get it right, you know.
From
the
that,
early
so
stage,
that
from the
because
early
the
stage.
society makes up of family.
Yes.
And now before you get to the stage of family, you start from relationship. And now you can't just afford to be in a relationship that you are not happy. There are things you can't be yourself just because you want to please the other person. Now, those are things I feel that would not make a healthy relationship. And everyone out there needs to actually know the importance of
building healthy.
yes, because we have a lot of youths that do not understand.
And you know,
they just
the
feel it's
funny thing
enough
is
to
that
have a relationship.
The thing is, what they say these days is whatever works for you. Whatever works for you is fine. If, you know, you want to meet a guy today,
And get married
date him
tomorrow,
get married to him the next day, then so far as cool with you and the guy, then it's fine. But I
is
beg
it
to
really
differ.
fine?
But I beg to
Like, is it
differ.
really fine?
There is actually a standard. There is
Okay.
already a pattern that actually should be followed.
Yes.
You know, I don't really want to go into all the biblical aspects now, but, you know, both as a Muslim and as a Christian, you know, there are standards that you should follow. You know, in as much as there is civilization in quotes, and then
yes.
the 20th century, everyone wants to do what they feel like,
What they feel
feel
yes.
like doing, and they don't want to be
Definitely,
told
you're
what
right.
to do, you know. So I feel there is a standard, and that is why we will be having an expert on the show today.
Yes,
you know,
talk
to
more.
tell us exactly how to build healthy relationships and not just, you know, base our knowledge of what relationship is on what we see in the society. Because truth is, now these days we are being misled, you know, as to what a relationship is. There's so many things, bizarre things that I'm like, really? In the days of my mother, this wouldn't have happened.
I know, right?
You know, so all right, we'll be doing all the talking. So we'll be going on a break, and then we'll bring in our guest. He's a relationship expert, a
relationship coach.
Yes, so he will be coming to discuss the topic. So please stay glued, because this is one interesting topic that you do not want to miss any part of it. So please do stay glued to Tea or Coffee on High Impact TV. We'll be right back.
Experience the excitement at High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resort. Our state-of-art facility offers amazing outdoor rides, playhouses, indoor games, and dining facilities. Thrill your student with a lifetime memorable excursion trip. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
Discover the magic. The thrill. Every sight is so close you can feel it. The excitement. The fear. Experience our cinemas at High Impact Planet, the place where fun just got real.
Welcome back. It's still Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television, your first full HD TV station in Nigeria. Before we went on break, I and Modupe were talking about building a healthy relationship.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we have said what we know in our own words, and now we have to a little extent. And now we have our guest in the studio. He is Wilson Emmanuel. He is a relationship coach and has been handling relationships for 10 years. He was in a relationship of 4 years with his wife and got married this year. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to
Good
Tea or
morning.
Coffee.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. First, I would like to know, you were handling relationships for 10 years. Now, how has the experience been? Because definitely you've been handling a relationship for 10 years, and now you were in a relationship with your wife for 4 years. So you were actually handling relationships even before you were in a relationship.
Yeah.
So now, how were you able to handle different people coming with different issues in their relationships?
Okay, some of them were friends,
Okay.
and many of the times they came seeking counsel, and they had issues. I just talked them into understanding certain things, help them come out of. Some had to do with heartbreaks.
Okay.
Had to help them come out of heartbreaks. Had to help them move on with their life and possibly make the right choices, right decisions with either the next or the present they had to deal with.
Okay.
So that was it.
All right.
You know,
Okay.
so being that you've had relationships and there's so many, things, factors that I'm sure you should have advised someone at some point on what to consider before actually going into
Yeah.
a relationship. So
Certainly.
what would you say are the most important things that as youths, as young individuals, we need to
Individuals, yes.
consider before we decide to go, into a relationship?
Okay. First things first, I would say we would first consider being a religious person.
Okay.
You would consider, can I relate with this person on a religious background? Do we have a similar blend? And there's something I call compatibility test. 3 compatibility tests. Do we agree religiously? Then do we agree? Are we compatible intellectually? Then are we emotionally compatible? So the first ground should be, for some persons, they start with intellectual. They don't have anything to do with the religious and all of that. So you first find out, can we reason together? How does this person think? What are this person's view of life? What's their... now, when we even talk about education, what do they understand about education when we talk about literacy? Have they just gone through school? Are they really literates, or they've just gone through the 4 walls of an institution? So all of these need to be checked. Then that will determine, okay, what next they would take steps at as regards the emotions. But we discovered many times people start from emotions. They start by having feelings, and from that point, we tend to miss it. When you start from there, you would miss it. You miss it a whole lot because it's all feelings, feelings, feelings. And at such times, people are not thinking. Because emotions tend to, sometimes we pause our brain. We need to carry our brain along all of the time. Because with our emotions, we could actually make decisions that if we were in our right senses, we wouldn't have. If we were thinking, we wouldn't have. If we took time to look and weigh, okay, who is this person? Because if we don't get to know people beyond our feelings for them, we'll always fall into the wrong hands.
Okay.
We'll always make big mistakes. So we need to know people. How do they reason? What's their drive in life? What are their goals? What are they pursuing? What are their dreams? What's their vision? This would determine how we'd begin to relate with people. If this would go from just being friendship to dating, then to courtship, then possibly marriage.
Okay.
Judging from what you said, I was saying, some people say that, when we were discussing about the topic, I was telling you about when someone told me, when you see a lady, you just know if you want to spend the rest of your life with her
She's the one for
or
you.
not. And judging from what you are saying, it doesn't mean that it is not true, because there
It's
are different
not
quotes
true.
that we see these days. They say, okay, a man that is not a boy or a guy that is not serious would be is not sure. Or from the first day the man that is meant to be with you sees you, he will just know that you are supposed to be his wife. So is that true?
That's not true. That's not true. You need to get to know people. People tend to judge a lot from the cover and without knowing the content. You don't judge a book by its cover. You need to get to know people. The belief that love at first sight is overrated. for some persons it tends to work, but over time they would have certainly gotten to know themselves.
To an extent.
In fact, there's nothing like love at first sight. There's actually attraction at first sight.
first sight.
Because that's what happens. You see a person for the first time, you get attracted. And
person.
then feelings, mushy feelings, and then you're progressing into something that your brain should tell you at that time, take it slow, calm down, take it slow. There's nothing, you see the person, no. You get to know people first.
Okay.
Possibly at the first conversations, some things will click because you get to know people first by what they say. A lot of things people reveal about themselves the way they speak. When a person speaks, you know the way the person thinks. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Earlier on you were mentioning the important things to consider for
Yeah.
an healthy relationship. I think I would like to add to the fact that when it comes to compatibility, blood group is actually quite important also for compatibility.
Certainly.
A lot of people, no, I've seen situations whereby based on religious, they go like, okay, by faith, things like that, and then they still go ahead to get married to each other, even knowing that they are not compatible blood group-wise. So I might just want to add to what the compatibility that you mentioned.
That's very key, very key. We shouldn't ever throw that away. We shouldn't. Faith and nature. Faith doesn't contradict nature. It's not against nature. So nature should have its course. Then if you have faith, let your faith convert nature to what you believe it should be, then you can proceed.
Okay, so
you
now
do not take some steps they're not healthy.
Healthy for the relationship. Now let's talk about emotions. Do you think love is enough to keep a healthy relationship?
Okay.
And if no, why? Why do you think love shouldn't be enough or is not enough to keep a relationship?
Okay, first of all, I'll start by saying, for me, love is not an emotion.
Okay.
It's not. But love can be expressed through emotions. Certainly. So if we're talking about love, it's somewhat an action, it's a decision, it's a choice. It's a choice you make. And I'd say, when you say you love someone, where that comes into play is after you've gotten to know this person.
The person.
You've gotten to know the person. I'd use this statement. See finish. You've seen the person. Then you still made that decision.
Sure.
I want to be with this person. I love this person in spite of all I have come to know. Good, bad, ugly. So the base of love being an emotion, because when we base it just on emotions, it's fickle. Emotions come and go.
More like a crush.
No, exactly. It comes, it goes, it comes again. So what do we do with emotions? We fan it.
Okay.
We stir it up. And one of the ways to stir up this emotion, love in a sense, is keep saying what you like about this person. Say it to the person. Constantly, the person should do same. It should be a constant feedback and response. It's a communication.
Between partners.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would help build this emotional bond strongly.
Okay.
Because if this is not there, then you might just be building something on a base. You might be building on something that has no base, no foundation. No foundation.
All right.
Okay, when it comes to dating now, because I want us to base this discussion on dating.
dating.
Okay.
A boy and a girl, a man and a lady, as the case may be. These days, they say, there are some things that when you start dating a guy, like, let me take from the angle of cooking for a guy you're dating. Do you think it's right? Because I feel that some things that should stay
Till marriage.
Yeah.
Or when you're actually courting, and then we know that, okay, I know your parents, you know my parents, we've probably done introduction and the likes. But when I'm just, okay, we are dating, do you feel it's right to do some certain things like cooking, washing, and the likes?
Okay, before I hit that, I'd say I personally don't make use of the word dating.
Okay.
Because
Why?
it's somewhat it's something people do to try to see if this will work. And
Okay.
when we take steps in that regard, we tend to fall into many wrong potholes. We would, okay, you start with this person and you want to see if it will work. Friendship, that ground, that base, can open you up to knowing a person you can spend the rest of your life with. Because truth is, when people get into dating, they begin to act up. They want to be at their best to please.
Yes.
But your friends don't do anything to please you. They are themselves. So it should graduate from friendship to courtship. Because many times in dating, we fake a lot of things. We act like we care because we want to get the person. We want to keep the person. So on that regard, friendship. So if we're saying, I cook for my friend, why? Except he came visiting, I came visiting. Then we cooked and it's friendship. But on that platform where, okay, we're dating, even sometimes spend the night, or let me not spend the night, spend the weekend.
Okay.
And you have to do cooking, laundry. You're already carrying out responsibilities of a housewife. You don't even know where this is leading to because you are still in dating. In your mind, you are still trying to see if this will work. But when it's graduated from friendship to courtship, okay, possibly you've come to visit the family and certain things are already in process. Then it could happen once in a blue moon. It shouldn't be the norm. It shouldn't be the norm. Okay. Because there shouldn't be a hard rule to it. There shouldn't be a hard rule to it. It shouldn't be all the time.
All right, talking about meeting your family and meeting friends and all, do you think having a good rapport with your partner's family members would guarantee a long-term healthy relationship?
Somewhat.
Why? Why do you think so?
First, they get to know you because they would access you.
Okay.
They'll assess you and they'll check you out to see, is this person good for my brother or my sister or my son or my daughter? And I must say, what siblings and parents have to say a number of times are important concerning our relationships. Because sometimes they see things that we tend not to see. They see things that we allow that love emotion blind our eyes to. And they say love is blind. That's not true. Love is very...
Love can see.
It sees very well. So we must build that relationship with the family. They should know you. They should know you for who you are, what you do, what you stand for. And that could help. That could really help.
To have a long-lasting relationship.
Yeah, it could help. It could help.
Because I've actually seen situations whereby they know family, visits the family and all of that. And at the end of the day, the man stood his ground and said, if you like, know my generation, I'm not getting married to you.
She just took the word right out of my mouth because that's what I was trying to say.
So,
it doesn't matter sometimes. If you know.
Okay, the man, right?
Yes,
the man made the decision.
For me, it still boils down to the man, to the two of them making decision of the marriage. Whether you know my family or not, it's still my choice
decision to make
if I want to get married to you or not. Because I've seen situations where couples even just travel out, maybe because families do not support the relationship. So I understand the fact that the family is important, but then there are actually situations where they do not determine how long the relationship would last.
True. I'd say again that when such instances fall into play, it should be because possibly the families might not be sincere with the couples. They have ulterior motives. They had hidden agendas that they are not revealing truly. So if the family is wanting this person to get married to this person forcefully, then there's something wrong. It should be based on the two people involved. It should be their decision. If the family is opposing, why are they opposing? Because if we tend to ignore that sometimes, we might see the results in future, especially when they are sincere. They are pointing to you, saying, this and this, are you not seeing this?
Obvious fact.
Yeah. Are you not seeing this? So, many times, it's not a hard rule. It's not a hard rule, though. It's not a hard rule.
Okay, so now let's talk about your courting now.
Okay.
You're courting. And I'm the lady, she's the guy. And then I know our ex. And our ex is very toxic
To the
to
relationship.
the relationship. But then he's still forming, I'm using he for you now. He's still forming, okay, we're just friends and
His
there's nothing.
ex.
His ex.
Yes.
Okay,
His
so I
ex.
get it properly.
Yes, his ex
His
is
ex.
saying, okay, that we're just friends, there's nothing to it. But I know that the ex is a problem and it's
So,
causing troubles in the relationship. How can I handle such a situation?
You're not to handle it. He's to handle it.
Okay.
Okay.
Men should man up. Don't bring your wife to be into your issues of the past. She shouldn't be having to deal with your previous relationships. The ladies wanting to come again. No, settle it, deal with it. The present woman should not have to deal with that at all. She was not in the picture. She was not there when you had this relationship. She was not there when possibly things went south, went sideways and all of that. So she shouldn't have to deal with it.
Okay.
It's not her place.
All right.
If the man brings her into the position to dealing with that, he doesn't show that he values her.
Okay, there's actually something I would like to ask or add to what you just said, but we need to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more on building a healthy relationship. And remember, we still have Wilson Emmanuel, a relationship coach, in the house to tell us more on the topic for today. Do stay tuned. It's still Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television.
Walking into comfort in a safe environment is every family's dream. At High Impact Planet Resort, our fully furnished service apartment is a home away from home. Amazing views right in your luxurious world. Work out to keep fit for an amazing body at the gym. Get affordable groceries and personal care items at the supermarket. Feel relaxed and beautify yourself at the fully equipped spa. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
Okay, this is still Tea or Coffee on High Impact Television, your first full HD TV station in Nigeria. Now, this conversation has actually
actually extended,
you know,
yes.
a lot of controversial talks, but we'll try to balance it right now. But just before, I go into what you have to say, Wura. Okay, no, you say it first.
Okay, so we were actually, she asked the question whereby your ex is
The
actually
ex,
toxic to your relationship.
Yeah.
Now, who is supposed to deal with it, like in terms of approach? And you mentioned that the lady, let's not forget that it could be the other
Yeah,
side too.
yeah,
It could
both
be
ways,
both
both
ways.
ways, yeah.
But then now we're using the scenario of the
lady.
man actually
Having an ex.
having the ex, and then
Okay.
the lady. For me, you mentioned that she doesn't have to deal with it. Now, I think they are both in the relationship.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now let me use an instance. I've had a situation whereby the guy didn't even know that the ex is a problem, because how she got to know that, okay, there's a problem in our relationship was that there were things he used to do in the relationship that all of a sudden he stopped doing. And there were even some that she doesn't even know what went wrong.
Yeah.
But then she now realized and later found out that his ex, he got talking and having a conversation with her, so they were catching up with old days. And then
Mushy feeling.
yes,
Yeah,
and at the
yeah.
end of the day, at the end of the day, it is for him. He said he did not know, or he wasn't aware until she spoke up and like, what's happening?
Okay.
Who is this girl that all of a sudden calls, sends messages? And then I am now nowhere to be found, or no more attention for me. And he was like, do you know, I did not even know that this is happening. So there are actually times where the woman has to speak up, and then
Yeah.
Or the guy, as the case
Yeah.
may be.
yes.
Yeah. What I actually meant actually was, when it comes to facing the person in question,
Okay.
because there are scenarios in our society today when the lady finds out that her fiance's or husband's ex has been showing up, the lady goes after the ex.
Okay.
So that's
True. True.
it's off. It's off. You should address your fiancé, your man,
Your man.
about it. Then he should deal with
With the situation.
Exactly.
You don't even have to
that.
see the ex or
Exactly.
even
You don't have a business, because if the man does not handle it, allowing his fiancé or his wife go ahead, do that for him, he's showing that he doesn't place value on her. There's no honor for her as his fiancé or his wife. So I'm not speaking on that regard.
Okay.
When the woman discovers or the man discovers that what's happening, she should speak up to find out, okay, why
is this
all of this?
happening?
Okay, what's causing this? When they find out, okay, somebody is the reason, guy, deal with this, or woman, deal with this.
Okay, Moduba, you said that the ex, you shouldn't be talking to your ex in the first place. So are you trying to say that everyone that has ex should not be in
That's not what
communication
I'm
with their
trying
ex
to
again?
say.
I'm not-
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
She's actually putting the question at me
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yes.
Not the guest.
Okay, but then, okay, now let's move it to the guest.
Okay.
She said that, why would you even be in communication with your ex in the first place?
Oh,
Now,
no,
so
I'm not,
does that
I'm not-
mean that
I'm not a
once,
party to that?
once you have an ex, it is ex, no more communication with such person?
Even the word ex is X to me. I don't like it.
Ex, like cancel,
Yeah,
out.
just it's off to me.
Okay.
They're just people who we've been friends, and it didn't go the way we wanted it. So we can still be friends. You should
But
still
not
and
on
not
that
that.
intimate
Yes,
level.
no,
Intimate
we shouldn't
level.
have that grounds.
Okay.
I can say I still have a cordial friendship with the three persons I was in a relationship with before I met my
Okay.
wife.
Okay.
Cordial. I can pick up a call and call them and know how they're doing, how they're faring, their family, and that's it.
Okay.
But there are situations whereby
Yeah.
there are just some type of exes that you cannot even be cordial with.
Like
Yeah,
you said,
I didn't have such
mushy.
exes.
Exactly.
They want to. They still want to talk about what happened back then.
Delete their number, lose their contact.
Possibly they've not.
Why
They possibly
so
haven't
angry?
gotten over you.
Exactly.
And
then
when
as
you
much as
notice-
you are just trying to be, we are just friends, though. They keep hitting it back. And
Udupa
saying
is so angry this morning. I don't know what's happening with my
Possibly
friend
when
this
you
morning.
notice such, you stay away.
Okay.
When you notice such,
Because I was
stay
going to
away.
mention that
Stay
there are
away.
actually some partners,
Yeah.
some exes that would still want to talk about, what has happened, and talking about it would bring up some kind
Tell
of
them to move
memories
on.
and
They should
all.
just move on.
Okay.
Okay,
just
now,
move
let me ask this question. This one is more of an illustration. I want you to
Okay.
I want to come from a particular angle, but I'm
Okay.
sure you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Now, in trying to build a healthy relationship, especially with a guy.
Okay.
Now, you said we should remove the dating part because it doesn't sit well.
For me.
Exactly. So now you are friends with someone.
Yeah.
And he has already made his intentions known that
He
okay,
wants
he
to
likes
get-
you.
okay.
No, some guys are smart though. See, I'm coming from the angle of a female now because
Udupa, who has done this to you?
Okay, and then he's like, I like you. You know, looking at all the female friends I have, you are special. I want
Okay.
to start something with you. He doesn't ask you out or say, be my girlfriend or let us start something serious. He just puts you on that he hangs you
On
there.
that table.
And say you are special.
Friend zone.
Okay. And then you're like, okay, I'm special, okay.
What
and then
do you
he's-
mean?
Exactly. And then you start talking.
Ask.
You guys are talking. He's calling you every day. He's using the love, the baby, the sweetheart, the
Oh
darling.
my God.
And then you're like, as someone asks you, do you have a boyfriend? You can't say yes.
You can say no because
You're like, okay, what is happening? And then you ask him, okay,
Where are we?
Oga, what is happening? Are we dating? Are we not dating? What are we doing? And he's saying, my style is different.
different. My case,
You know, I don't want us to just jump
Okay.
into, doing other things. And all of a sudden, he now stops calling. It's now you that is calling. And you are saying, hey, checking up on him and everything. And you still tell you, okay, there's nothing there. He's going through a lot of things and all. How, as a lady, how should I handle the situation? Should I cut off all ties with him?
I'd like to start from the root. From the start, you begin to ask him questions. Ask questions. In
Okay.
fact, a senior friend once said, questions are more important than answers.
Answers.
We should ask a lot of questions. In the times of friendship, you get to know people so well, that when it's progressing to something else, that's the time there's a red flag. Ask questions. Where are we heading to? Because I shouldn't jump into a boat or a ship with someone and I don't know its destination. It's a ship. Every ship, it's a relationship, courtship. Every ship is heading somewhere.
Yes.
So I'm to ask, where are we going now? We have moved from friendship. Are we going into courtship? Where are we progressing to? If we're not progressing into something deeper than this, let's still keep it on the friend zone.
why didn't you say special friend zone?
No.
There's nothing like special friend zone. People have, so many persons have been kept on that special friend zone, and at the end of the day, they've gotten heartbroken by people who said nothing, and they just assumed. Assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. There's no knowledge there. We don't assume. I shouldn't be assuming I'm in a relationship with somebody and the person is not in a relationship with me. Well, in my mind, I'm the one in the relationship. In my mind, we are in a relationship. But with the person, there's nothing.
No, there's
We're just
nothing like
friends.
that.
We're very close friends. She's my dear friend. No, there's nothing like that.
Like that.
But the lady should ask, because I know
Okay.
ladies are usually more prone to this than guys.
Yes.
So they should ask questions. And when the guy is not coming out playing, if he's not sincere, diss him. Just keep him
I know
aside.
that my friend is listening because I do that exact same thing. Because
him
when
aside.
they were just friends,
Yeah.
this particular guy was calling her. As in the night call, they talk for long messages. And then just from the time when he said, okay, you are a special friend and
Friend.
this, she started doing the calling.
And at some point, if you
Like-
realize that they kept you in that special friend zone, and then when you now try to probably
Break out of it.
or have a relationship with somebody else or try to get close with someone else. They will just be jealous
come
and
around.
start wondering, like,
And say-
you start wondering, okay, what exactly are we? And then they come around and
Insecure.
become sweet again.
No, we should just be wise.
Exactly.
We should just be wise, because one of my strong keys I look out for in people is sincerity of heart. When people are not sincere, I can't have anything to do with them.
Do with them.
Even just being friends, I keep you at arm's length. We can just be acquaintances and we talk.
Okay.
But we can't have more than that. If we're going to graduate from just acquaintances to friends, and I can hold you as somebody close, I should have tested your heart.
Okay.
One way or the other, I possibly would not have set traps or pitfalls for you, but things would have happened, certain things would have occurred that would have brought about the test of your heart. That's sincerity. Because when somebody cannot be sincere and open to tell you, this is what I want, this is where I want us going, this is where this is leading to, they can stab you. They can hurt you and not think about it.
Okay.
They can.
All right. You know, we've been looking at it from the man's point of view, the lady's point. Now, let us talk about the role of both parties in building a healthy relationship.
Not just building relationship, healthy.
A healthy
They can
relationship.
you can build relationship in an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay. One very key important thing that kickstarts relationships, which should keep the relationship going. I said earlier, get to know people. And how would you do that? Communication. You must communicate. You must find out what's up. Because funny thing is, when people first take that step, the communication is usually up there.
Up there, yes.
But when they get to know themselves so much, it tends to seem like,
There's nothing more
what
to
else
talk
do we
about.
discuss? And this is because the guy doesn't tend to get involved in what the lady is doing with her life. That's if she's doing something with her life. The lady doesn't tend to get involved with what the guy is doing in his life. That's if he's doing something with his life. So this would keep, because we are not in a relationship just to get married and be looking at ourselves. And we get involved in our lives to get ourselves better in what we are doing. I have a dream, I have a vision. What are you bringing to the table? What are you adding to my life? This is healthy, because it has to be mutual. I'm bringing something, you're bringing something, and we are both contributing. It's not a 50-50 stuff. It's 100% contribution from both ends. I'm communicating. My feelings for you are way up there. Your feelings for me are way up there. This is how we keep it going. It has to be coming from both ends. If I'm doing something, if I'm going somewhere, if I have a dream I'm pursuing, you are there for me to see how I can achieve it. If it's not even financially, possibly you can't do that yet. But just being there, asking, how have you been going about it? What assistance can I render? Because not everything is money. What assistance can I render? What really even counts in life are little things. Because someone wise once said, the best things in life are free. Just courtesy. They're just simple things. And these little things, because if we do not, with communication, we'll get to know the things that this person likes, the things that this person doesn't like. We'll get to know our differences and appreciate ourselves. We'll get to know, okay, this is who this person is, and these are the things that I feel this person should work on and change. And you will communicate that. Because sometimes people lash out when they have actually not spoken to the person. I observed this, and can you do something about it? It turns me off when I notice this. Because all these have to do with communication. How we properly communicate things we are not happy about would determine if it will change or if
not.
it will remain.
Remain the same.
Because if we do not properly communicate, communication is even just the major base for
Yes.
relationships. If we can't properly communicate how we feel concerning certain things, concerning what we don't like, concerning people and family, just everything, if we can't properly communicate, we will be missing out on a lot. Be missing out on a lot.
You know, taking it from the angle of finances, you
Yeah.
know, let me be all about the ladies now.
No, go ahead.
Let me help the guys out, you know. So we're dating, or we are planning to enter courtship. Since you said to dating, but I also be because
Go ahead.
everyone
Yeah,
knows
everybody
that
is
I
dating.
have to even mention that I hope the guys, I don't want to mention him, but the guys that came attacking us while we were on break, that we have been, I hope you can now listen, that we are trying to, you know, balance
Okay.
it all.
You know, is it right? Like, you're not yet married, and you're not really serious as the relationship is not as serious as courting.
Okay.
And then you want to have like a joint account.
What
The lady
happened?
wants to have. The lady wants to have a joint
Why so
account.
serious?
So when she wants to do her hair, she just goes, have you put money into the
In the
account?
joint
I need
account?
to do my hair.
Are we doing a job?
Is it a contribution?
Does it make the relationship healthy?
No, that's not healthy at all.
No, but some people tell you that, okay, let me test how much you trust me.
And how much
or
you
how much
Sorry,
you
what
love
are we
me.
contributing for?
That's how you build trust and know that you actually care about the lady.
Yes, now.
So
No,
you
that's
join
not
the money
healthy.
Together,
You put
No.
your,
You know, have a
okay,
joint account.
wait. Now
What
she's
if-
not saying that he would just be jumping. No,
You
didn't
both are
mention that he's going
contributing. What
Uh-huh,
if
it's
at the end of the
contribution.
day you both don't get married? How do you then divide the money?
The person that wants to do
You
the
have blood
breakup.
quarrel.
So this is how you will say to it. The person that wants to do the breakup, that say maybe if I'm not
We'll
to break
go
up
with
with her now,
nothing.
I'll give her the money because maybe I initiated the breakup.
Oh,
Interesting.
So whoever-
Where does that happen and how does
that's
it work?
Modupe's philosophy right now. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about, we've been talking about building healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, imagine if you were already in one that is not healthy. Yes. Now, what are damages and how can you, pull out of such relationships that unhealthy relationship can give to you?
It depends on what we call unhealthy relationships.
Exactly. I was about to say that,
Depends on what we call unhealthy relationships. What some persons actually call unhealthy relationships as a result of the things that they have seen growing up and have gotten used to and feel that's how relationships should be.
Should be.
I think I was speaking with a friend some time ago, and he said there's some ladies who grew up seeing their dad molesting their mom, and their mom didn't say anything, it's just submissive and all that, and so they grew up to feel that, and they felt that was the dad showing, that's one of the ways he showed him love to the mom. So if her guy or her husband doesn't beat her or doesn't do
doesn't
some
feel
of
it's
such
right.
exactly, she will feel he doesn't love me.
Enough.
Till the man don't slap me, he don't love me. Till he don't beat me. That's because and at the end of the day he will come back and he will apologize, he will beg, and it seems like the whole thing is the fire is set aflame again. That's unhealthy. So how do you help such a person?
Come out of it.
So the person feels that's healthy. So wash your hands, allow them.
But it won't be fair
Sometimes-
to leave. It won't be fair to actually leave such person in that kind
Do you
of
know why?
relationship.
Do you know why?
Why?
It would take a lot to try to convince such a woman to see that what that is unhealthy, because this has been built into her psychic.
Okay.
It's now it has formed her psychology concerning relationships.
lifestyle.
Exactly. So to begin to try and renew her mind, change her mind, to begin to see things differently, that a guy can love you, a man can love you without doing anything wrong. for example, you must have seen certain Black American movies, especially, and how the Black American lady, it's actually they're portraying what they've experienced. The Black American lady begins to see a guy who cares. He's all caring, and all of a sudden he wants to be there. Possibly she's been hurt a number of times. So she begins to see, what do you want? Why are you being all caring?
Nice.
What's it about? Why are you being all nice? She's not used to it. She's used to the
Other side.
So she's trying to find out.
What's happening?
Exactly. She's gotten used to the unhealthy form of relationship and feels this is what it is. So dealing with such, to an extent, it would take a lot of trying to communicate what a healthy relationship is to such a person. They would have to keep seeing it, keep experiencing it, possibly from people who are examples, keep hearing about it. Before, okay, then they begin to see, no, this is not healthy for me. I have to come back. Exactly. Because you can't change what they have experienced, possibly for 15 years.
True.
And that's formed what it is for them. It has formed it.
You know, just
Actually,
because,
I actually don't even mind for how long it would take for me to be able to let that person know that it is not a healthy
okay, just
relationship.
because our time is fast spent and we have so many questions to ask. Trust me, so many questions. We might just even have to do a part 2.
No problem.
But let me ask this. You know, I was talking about communication then, when the lady had to do all the calling. Who should call more in a relationship?
Both.
Okay.
It's nothing like...
No, I've actually heard ladies say
The guy
he's
should
the
do
one
quite
that
a
wants
lot,
me, so
but
he should call more.
That's been... You're not the center of the world.
Okay.
No. How do you show that you like that he's calling you? Call him too. Call him to reciprocate. That makes it mutual.
But now there has to be a balance.
Yeah, there has to be a balance.
Such that you would not even end up communicating more than the guy.
Because, in fact, today, in our world today, people hardly call.
True.
They chat.
Chat.
And I wanted to say something about that as regards communication.
Okay, please do that quickly.
Yes, because of time.
Communication. People have left being, okay, let's sit and talk to. People are in a relationship and they hardly talk face to face. They chat.
You chat.
When you should be talking, you're already chatting with every other person. It doesn't help the communication.
All right, thank you so much, Wilson Emmanuel. It was such a good time talking about building a healthy relationship with you. Thank you so much for coming. And yes, we have this for you to appreciate. Yes, a big package to appreciate your coming. Thank you so much on behalf of the team, on behalf of High Impact Television.
Thank you.
We hope that when we call you again, you would respond to our call.
Because as I was saying, we might just have a part 2. There's so many questions to ask, but time,
All right, you know what? I actually think we should take a second to sip our tea because I realized that we've been so engrossed in the conversation. And this is also part of tea or coffee.
Okay, while you are taking your tea, sipping your tea, I've sipped mine a couple of times. Let me talk about what I've learned. I've learned the fact that love is not, is not an emotion. It is intentional. It's an action.
It's a choice.
A choice, And I know that, when a guy is not being straightforward, when he's doing I know that he's not being truthful.
There is no special friend zone anymore.
There's no special friend zone. So I have to speak up, ask questions, and many times as I am confused as to what we are doing. Yes. So now,
and also to add to what Modupe said, compatibility level is quite important. Like he mentioned, you must be able to relate with each other's character. You must be able to do with each other's weaknesses and strengths. You'll still love the person beyond the flaws, beyond the mistakes that he or she can make. Yes.
Okay, so we've been told that our time is up and we have to go. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So please do join us tomorrow for another exciting episode of Tea or Coffee. Trust me, you don't want to miss tomorrow's show. So please stay glued to High Impact TV because Media Speciality is coming soon. And you can also join the conversation of social media platforms at High Impact TV, at High Impact TV on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Yes. So please do stay good. My name is Modupe Jacobs.
And I am Wuraola Popola.
Yes.
Do enjoy your day.